Hello and welcome to Back to School Night. Bienvenidos. If you need captioning at any point during this presentation, directions on how to access that are on the screen. Si necesita traducción, puede usar el herramienta de YouTube para que le salga en español por escrito abajo. Por favor, siga los pasos que están en su pantalla en este momento. Bienvenidos. Welcome all to Spanish class with Miss Radek. My name is Megan Radek. This is my 4th year at Glasgow, and I teach Spanish 3 immersion as well as Spanish for fluent speakers. Just a little bit about my background. I actually was born and raised in Springfield, Virginia. I graduated from TJ. After that, I went to the University of Virginia, and then I went on to work in Ecuador for about 15 years. My graduate degree and my previous work experience were in the areas of mental health and in nonprofit management. After about 15 years working in that sector, I went back to school to a career switcher program to get my teaching license. So I was certified to teach through Shenandoah University. And like I said, I've been at Glasgow for the past 4 years. I teach Spanish, and I am also the World Languages Chair. In Ecuador, I was also a foster mom to 6 teenagers, not all at the same time. They are all grown up now, but remain an important part of my life. So a little bit about me and my teaching philosophy. I believe that for students to learn, they need to make mistakes. Before you can speak a language well, you have to try to speak it and speak it badly. So I do my best to create an environment where students feel safe trying new things, where they're encouraged to push themselves in order to really grow their capacity in the language. I want to encourage students to take ownership of their own learning and to do that through a mix of individual and collaborative work. It is so important that students are able to ask questions and seek help, because as they advance in their language progression, and to have 8th graders in Spanish 3 is really quite advanced. It's going to be more and more important for them to take the lead in terms of developing their vocabulary, seeking out learning opportunities, and really growing their own interests as they communicate in Spanish. In my classes, we have a mix of reading, writing, speaking, and listening activities in Spanish. We also try to have a balance of small group, whole class, and individual learning time. I do try to keep homework to a minimum, but any work that is not completed during class time needs to be completed at home before the next class. And we will probably have 1 or 2 larger projects that involve some work at home during the year. In terms of our curriculum, we follow the FCPS curriculum for Spanish 3. The 2 books we use, we focus mostly with Avancemos 3, level 3. We do draw some from level 2 as well to reinforce concepts. And it's divided into 5 thematic units. So those units are My Memories, Teen Life, Conservation and Ecology, Literature and Media, and My Future. So as we go through those, we will be incorporating things like current events, culture, and music into each of those units. It's also my hope that this year we will again be able to participate in the Global Classroom Project. We began participating last year, and this is a program that partners us with a school in Colombia so that our students can communicate and work together on some projects later in the year. Spanish 3, one thing to be aware of is it is a pretty heavy year for grammar. It really introduces and stresses mastering several of the main tenses in Spanish. So it probably has more grammar than your students saw in Spanish 1 or Spanish 2. Para los alumnos de español para hispanohablantes, este es un curso para estudiantes que ya hablan español. Y por eso nos enfocamos en la lectura y la escritura. Sabemos que los estudiantes que han tenido la mayoría de su educación aquí en Estados Unidos, aunque hablan español, tal vez no sepan tanto leer y escribir en ese idioma. Entonces, en la clase vamos a tener bastante lecturas, algunos compartidos, otros que ellos van a poder elegir qué les gustaría leer en español. En el transcurso del año estaremos trabajando con 5 temas: familias y comunidades, identidades personales y públicas, ciencias y tecnología, arte y belleza y desafíos mundiales. Vamos a incorporar música, eventos actuales, cultura y ortografía durante todo el año. Y este año esperamos otra vez participar en el proyecto de Aulas Globales, donde colaboramos con un colegio colombiano para mejorar el conocimiento cultural y ofrecer oportunidades de intercambio para nuestros alumnos. For grading and assessments, there are basically 6 categories for grades. Formative assessments are what we used to call quizzes. They're ways of checking in on a student's understanding, and those are worth about 10% of the grade. Homework and or classwork is worth another 10%. And then the bulk of the grade will come from what we call summative assessments. And our summatives are divided into 4 categories. These are our IB program criteria. A, B, C, and D, so that's how you'll see it in SIS. And those 4 criteria in the IB program correspond to our 4 basic skills of speaking, listening, reading, and writing in Spanish. So each of those skills will be 20% of the grade. For students who need some extra help or just want some extra time to practice, I am available after school every Monday in my classroom. Academic time starts at 2:25 on Mondays. I am in room M3, which is in the modular building outside. All our course materials will be posted on Schoology, and you can reach out to me or your student can at mradek@fcps.edu. I will do my very best to answer emails within 1 school day of receipt. One question I often get is how parents can best support their child. And there are a couple things you can do to help your child be successful. Number 1 is just communication. Let me know if something's going on in your child's life that might be impacting how they do in school. So if they need a little extra support or something's going on that could be affecting them, communication is key to making sure that your child feels supported both at home and at school. When your child is at home, check in about their classwork and homework. Ask them what they did in class today. Look at Schoology together so you can see. We will have information and assignments posted there. And then finally, encourage practice. This may be speaking, listening, reading, writing in Spanish. Maybe you want to have them read a children's book to a younger sibling in Spanish. Maybe it means watching some TV or listening to some music in Spanish and seeing how much they can decode, or doing some independent reading in Spanish. But just really encourage them. Y por supuesto, si hablas español, lo mejor que puede hacer es hablar en español con su hijo. Avísale que converse, que lee, que escriba en español para seguir practicando, seguir mejorando su conocimiento. In terms of supplies, we will provide the textbooks and the workbooks. We'll have a class set of textbooks in the room, and all students will have a login to access the online textbook. If your student does bring any of those materials home to finish up, please make sure they bring them back so they have them next class. Other than that, we just need a pencil and paper, and I would really encourage you to send a spare mask or 2 with your child. We do a fair amount of speaking activities, and oftentimes after speaking for too long, children's masks can start to feel kind of gross. So if you can pack a fresh one to let them change into, a lot of students will really appreciate that. We are so very excited to have our students back in the building, and we are looking forward to a great year. Can't wait to talk to you. Thank you.